Today I'm going to unload the 94 Quad Runner and pull the engine out of it. Time to drag a bit more of this crap out the back of the truck. You can see the 94 bike there, and upside down on it is part of the earlier frame. I'm hoping the whole lot will roll out once I put the ramps up and take the tailgate off, but we'll see. You might have wondered how you get two quad bike frames in the back of a truck. Well, you don't, and I'm having difficulty getting it out, but I'll give it a lift. And yeah, the bottom of that wrecked frame has got all the bottom rails missing, and yeah, I think I've got a locked rear wheel on the 94, and anyway, we'll give it a bit more of a pull. Well, there it is in all its glory. It was wet on the day I picked it up, and so there's mud stuck to the tyres, cobwebs. Now I'm going to get in the shade there. Bit of tin. There's a mud guard on this side. The amount of dirt. Brought half the farm home with me. An extended tow bar on it. That's the airbox, still attached by a rubber hose. Carby's there. The hose to the cylinder head still in place. So the cylinder head on this was supposedly destroyed, and starter motor is still in place there, I see. But bent conrod. Can't really show you that. Oh yeah, I think you can see it just there. So she's had a major problem. Anyway, the job is to pull that motor out and see what it looks like internally. It looks largely complete, except for the plastics. It's got CDI boxes and regulators on it. Coil pack. I think the guy bought new front tyres for it, which is pretty much what he wanted to recover in cost. It was 4 years ago it's been sitting, and it needs some TLC. If I can get the engine running, I'm pretty confident the rest of this chassis is okay. Pneumatic fan in under there. Got a bit of work to do to pull that engine out. So might as well make a start. So this frame, this is where the spare engine was cut out of. they've cut the swing arms and the bottom of the chassis away, and the front wishbones are missing. I think the story goes that somebody was going to make a side-by-side out of this kit, and I think ended up only the steering column's not in it. The fellow that had the 94 got this for nothing from a scrap dealer, and brought it home, and it's sat out in the rain for 4 years, I understand. And he asked me, he showed it and said, oh, well, that's where the motor came from. And I said, well, what are you going to do with that? And he said, oh, I said, I'll take it, because there may well be parts on it that are worthwhile. Who knows? I think in the boxes of stuff that he's given me, there is another CDI unit and a regulator and a coil, and looks like this has got the wiring harness still attached. So it'll be interesting to see what parts are on this are salvageable. That frame has got the bottom cut out of it. I think what's happened is the bottom's all rotted out of it, like the original one that I restored. There's still bits on it that could be salvaged. Probably got a good petrol tank, if anyone wants a petrol tank. Oh well, so far all the bolts have been coming out, and I'm going to get rid of all of the crappy bits of this. The rear rack came off with the main 4 bolts, and now I'm removing the plastic, which is got a various combination of crap associated with it. Back of the bike looks pretty normal. I'll keep going. I've pushed it back into the shed. The left front wheel is locking, so I couldn't wheel it. I had to sort of manhandle that wheel to get it to turn. Got it to roll in slowly, quarter of a turn of the wheel at a time. So I got the exhaust off. That was a good thing. Get a better view of the top of the engine. Starter motor there, and the heat shield and the airbox and the storage box is all clearing out of the way. You can see the crap that's still stuck to these tyres. That's that tow bar I was talking about that was shaded outside before. I've removed the control cables, the 3 of them. I have not sheared a bolt off yet, which surprises me. I think Bordertown is probably a fairly dry area. They grow a lot of wheat crops and things there. I think the stuff that's stuck to this bike is sandy. It's almost a bit like it's got a shower of light cement and sand stuck on it, the way it sticks on. I've noticed that on the other engine as well. But I don't think it's been particularly corrosive to the steel frame. There's still a bit of black paint underneath that coating. The front suspension is a bit darker under here, but it's all there, and yeah, I'm going to get these wheels off tomorrow, get the half shaft drives to the wheels out so that I've got the rear of the motors free. The motor got to swing out through this side of the frame. There's a piece down here that's been removed already. It's in the bucket somewhere. The footrests, that's the gear shift there. The brakes on the other side. I think there's 4 bolts holding that whole member in across there, and some cables on the other side. I'll get that out of the way. I think there's a floor pan down there that's missing on my first bike. I'll get that off. There's just a whole lot of stuff to get out of the way. I think that carb is basically hanging in mid-air, not connected to the airbox, and it's just got a choke cable and a throttle cable and a fuel line attached to it, maybe a couple of vacuum lines, so enough for it to just float in mid-air there. I'll get all that out of there tomorrow. Hopefully get close to, well, I really should be able to get that motor to swing out through the frame on this side. They're a heavy beast to manipulate on your own, but somebody's got to do it. So get out to your shed and have some fun.